Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing a Swiss Magic Origins draft. Let's see here. Well, we've got Displacement Wave, which seems like a playable card, but I don't love it. It's a good way to kill tokens, I guess, for 2 mana. That's actually not bad. I think Displacement Wave's okay. I guess we're not really giving up much in this pack, are we? I mean, Lightning Javelin is a removal spell. I've been underwhelmed by it. I want it to be good, though. I don't know why it's not good. I mean, it's pricey, but it's direct damage. Anywhere you want. I mean, I could take Displacement Wave. I haven't tried it yet. It doesn't see... It's not like it's unplayable. It's just something about it bugs me. I guess I'll go removal. That's a unexciting pick one. I could have taken the Rock Smaller as well, which would have been reasonable. Okay, best card in this pack is debatable, I guess, but I like Conclave Naturalists quite a bit. You get a solid body, and you can destroy an artifact or enchantment. So usually, blow up a token, a Thopter token, no big deal, feels pretty good. Sometimes you blow up some of the good auras in this format, which feels really good. Naturalist tends to be a pretty awesome card. There's also Clash of Wills, Llanowar Empath, Firefiend Elemental in red, not that exciting. I think we'll go Naturalist. There's also Blessed Spirits, which is a good evasive dude that can get bigger, but I'm going to go with the Naturalist. I've had some pretty good experiences with the card in general. Okay, so in red we have Titan Strength. In green we have Vastwood Gorger. Strongest card in the pack is presumably Starfish. There's also Celestial Flare. And Read the Bones. Feels a bit too early to take Gorger. I don't mind taking Titan Strength. I've been getting blown out by that recently, to be honest. I could see it being pretty good for a beatdown deck. I think Starfish is a very good card. I've definitely had some good experiences with that. I'm fine taking the strength here. Maybe I should, I want to start valuing these combat tricks a little bit higher. Like I said, I've been kind of blown out by them recently. I do think Starfish might be good enough to just take here, though. Scry is pretty awesome. It's good early protection, too. I'll go with the Starfish. My gut says Starfish. The brewer in me wants to take the Titan Strength. All right. Wow. Well, fourth pick, Lieutenant, might be a sign. In green, we have Zyndakar's Royal and Highclaw Recluse, both of which are playable, not exciting. Scab Goliath is definitely a good bomb. I think Lieutenant's pretty awesome, though. I mean, could there be more upsides to this uncommon? 2 mana, 2/1 First Strike, Renown with more abilities? I think we gotta slam this dude. This guy seems actually just insane. Okay. So, I'm fine taking Rune Servitor here. I actually think Angel's Tomb is playable, but Rune Servitor strikes me as a card that's... I'm going to play any deck, any color combination I end up with, I'm going to want this Servitor. I seem to, especially in the last, in almost every draft, I tend to end with an unsatisfactory amount of 2-drops. So Rune Servitor definitely has the added bonus of always being playable in your deck. Plus, you get random benefits from cards like Artificer's Epiphany if you end up running it. Stuff like that. But yeah, I think we'll just slam a Servitor there. Okay, well, you know how much I love the old Bonded Construct. Great defensive card if you've got a good late game strategy. Otherwise, it might be early enough to just slam a Timberpack Wolf here. If we don't end up in green, so be it. I miss out on a Bonded Construct, but I think Timberpack Wolf, if I end up with 4 of them, I'm going to be pretty happy. If I end up with 1 of them, but I'm still in green, I'll still be pretty happy too. There's also Prickle Boar, which is decent, but it's definitely easier to find late game in this format than it is to find early game. Okay. Best card in this pack. I don't exactly know. Recluse is cheap and it's good defensively. Vastwood Gorger is a nice in-game plan. Dragon Fodder is playable, never really exciting. Same with Cobble Brute. There's some strategies that want the Dragon Fodder, but not exactly sure where in it. I would like to make the Lieutenant work, but it could have just been a fluke that we got at 4th pick. I mean, no white picks in here. White is definitely the most popular color of this format, I think. I mean, Recluse is a good defensive guy. I'm going to take the Gorger. Getting my late game now makes me feel okay about that. I probably take Visionary over Empath. I think it's just a better card. There's also a water. Where am I from? Like Virginia? Water Courser from, in blue, I mean, which is, I mean, it's a good card, but I'm not necessarily in blue. I'm going to take the Visionary. I think I'd like to be in green, and we're seeing some pretty good late green picks here. Wow, well, Tabled Rock Smaller is a good sign. Definitely glad we're in green. Wow, just all the green cards. Got it. Gorger number 2, taking it. All right, so green is open. Let's take this super late Undead Servant just in case I see more Undead Servants and want to make it pan out. Could take the Archer in case green-black is open. I've already got a couple elves. 3 elves. Is this an elf? It's a Dryad. Not quite. All right, well, I definitely feel like we're in the right color in green. And it does not appear that white is going to be what's going to happen. All right, Night Snare, sure thing. And the last pick, Swamp, sure. Seems fine. Liliana, very exciting. So whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile her, then return her to the battlefield transformed. That's fairly easy to activate. Her abilities, I have to make each player discard a card or return a non-legendary creature from your graveyard to... She doesn't even protect herself. Although she does get pretty big, but... I mean, I'm going to take her because, look, it's Planeswalker, but otherwise, maybe like Fetid Imp or actually Unholy Hunger. But I mean, a 2/3 lifelink is acceptable. Is she worth anything? Probably not, huh? Well, she's worth way more than I thought. She's worth 7 tickets, so... Oddly enough, she's worth more than Chandra. Chandra turned out to only be... I only got to sell her for like 3 tickets. I was very unpleasantly surprised, but we'll take Liliana. We kind of were moving towards black. All right, can take a second Undead Servant, but I think we want this Sky Snare Spider. I think we can hope to wheel the Servant, if anything. I mean, Sky Snare Spider is obviously just a ridiculously powerful card, so taking it. Now our deck just really needs some Leaf Gilders. Elvish Visionary number 2 seems absolutely like something our deck's going to want. So we'll take it. Not much else we care about. Undercity Troll, tremendously powerful card. Very happily going to take that. We'll take it over the Shaman of the Pack. I mean, we have a reasonable chance to table it. If no one's in green-black, it's probably, I guess, our only chance of tabling it. But we'll take it. Or we'll take the Troll, rather, because Troll is remarkably strong. So, I mean, I'd like, I guess, at this point to just do a black-green deck. I think that's where we're headed. I mean, I want to play Liliana, even though she's, like I said, not that great. I guess she kind of protects herself because you get the 2/2 zombie. All right, someone mentioned that I undervalued Evolutionary Leap. I you know what? I don't think you're wrong necessarily. But with that being said, well, here's the problem. It works pretty well with Liliana, doesn't it? My main issue is Leaf Gilder is so perfect for our deck, but I guess I will take the rare. It also has synergy with Undead Servant. I guess that's pretty reasonable, isn't it? All right. We'll take the Evolutionary Leap. It actually works remarkably well with the Elvish Visionaries, and even fine with Rune Servitor, as that commenter suggested. I think because I've just got cards that work so well with it, I will take it here. But Leaf Gilder seems like it would be a really nice card for our deck. All right, we have a second Rock Smaller. Our end game's looking good. I think I'd rather have this Farika's Disciple. We could use a little bit more in the middle. And Death Touch. This card's been a very big overperformer, in my opinion. It's been a remarkably good card. So I'll pretty happily take the Disciple here. I think at this point, Thornbow Archer's just not happening. I'll take Empath number 2. Eva's Force Mage is better for a beatdown deck. Llanowar Empath is just very nice in general. Sylvan Messenger to find elves in the top 4. I've got currently 1, 2, 3, 4 elves. Not that many. I could take Force Mage here. I might end up with more elves because I'm in green-black. I just don't think I'm likely to play the Force Mage. Although I guess it's fine with the Visionary. I don't want to get beat down by it. It's good with Renown. All right, I'll take the Force Mage. Unholy Hunger. Tabling is mind-blowingly shocking. All right, Elemental Bond currently works with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures, which isn't bad, but I think our deck more likely wants the Recluse than the Orchard Spirit. I think in general, Orchard Spirit's a better card, but Recluse is going to buy this deck the time that it needs to survive. Chandra's Fury could be annoying against us. So could Grasp, but I think Chandra's Fury for the most part is a better card. Our deck looks great. Deck looks very powerful. And we did end up tabling the Shaman of the pack, which is pretty cool actually. It's a fine playable card in green-black regardless. Vine Snare, sure. Alright, so we've already got 20 cards going into pack 3, so undoubtedly we'll be able to make a deck. I wouldn't even mind cutting one of our Vastwood Gorgers if we get no mana ramp at all. I guess we just slam a Mana Gorger Hydra here. It's a pretty awesome card. There's also a Disciple, which we could possibly table. Same with like Deadbird Shaman. Take the Hydra. Alright, another Sylvan Messenger. Another Lieutenant, but Lieutenant's just not going to happen. I think we just take Hunger number 2. Geez, Whirler Rogue? I don't like that Whirler Rogue, but we got to take on Holy Hunger. It's just too playable to pass up here. Like I said, looking good. Undead Servant plan looks like it's just out the window at this point. We're borderline mono green. In fact, I would not be surprised if we could just build a mono green deck, but I'm not highly incentivized to do that since I do want to try out Liliana, and having 2 Unholy Hungers is pretty awesome. This looks like a good Might of the Masses deck. Chief of the Foundry is a pretty annoying card for some people to have. It's not good for our deck besides being a 3-mana 2/3. I guess it does buff a Servitor randomly, but I think we're just taking Might. I've been blown out by this card too much, and we have way too many creatures to overlook Might of the Masses here. So we'll take it. Possibly could have tabled it and just hated something there. But at this point, I think Undead Servant is just gone. Geez, Molten Vortex? Guess there is a second Undead Servant. And like I said, Undead Servant is actually good with, it's really good with Evolutionary Leap. Since even the tokens you can end up sacrificing. I don't feel like I need an Orchard Spirit for this deck. It's not like the card's ever bad, but I've got enough going on already. I kind of want to hate this Vortex just because it's such a good card. But I might even be able to get another Undead Servant. And like I said, Undead Servant does... I guess I'd need at least like 3, probably 4, before I really want to get on the Undead Servant plan. I'm going to hate a Vortex. I don't want to play against it. Leaf Gilder is like way too perfect for our deck. Awesome pickup here. I think our next cut is probably a Vastwood Gorger just to slightly lower the curve of our deck. Valerian Wardens is pretty awesome. We don't even have much in the Renown department, but we have 3 other creatures with Renown, which is enough, and even on its own, it's a pretty awesome card. Otherwise, there's like Deadbird Shaman, and take it or leave it. So let's cut Vassad Gorger. Let's bring in Valerian Warden. I'm starting to really like the way this deck looks. I don't like Pilgrimage. I could take the Brawler's Plate. We've got a lot of fatties that would get a lot better with Trample and being boosted. A lot of guys, actually. So, at the very least, it's a sideboard plan, maybe. Otherwise, I just don't think I'm playing Pilgrimage. Just cannot find other lands. And Touch of Moonglove doesn't seem like something I need. I'll take the Brawler's Plate. I don't think we're playing it. I could maybe find a way to play it over, like, just a random Timberpack Wolf, which is, well, Leaf Killer number 2. I think at that point we can cut the Timberpack Wolf. That's pretty awesome. The deck at this point looks excellent. Just an excellent looking deck. I might even cut the Force Mage. Yeah, well, I probably just take Disciple and cut Force Mage. Maybe I run the plate over the Shaman of the pack, but I guess at this point, how many elves do I have? 1, 2, 3. Well, do I have enough to run Messenger? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 doesn't seem like enough to run Messenger. I don't really need the Mantle of Webs. I don't care. I mean, Zendikar and Incarnate can be annoying. I think I'll actually take the Incarnate. That could be... I'm just not going to play the... I've got enough... I've got, like, Empaths, Double Visionary. I'm not worried about the rest. I guess I'll hate an Active Treason. I just don't think I'm going to want Guardians of Meletus. I've got enough mid-game where I'm not worried about that. All right, I could take the Spirit. Maybe run it over something. Probably not, though. Everything seems fine. I could run it over a Servitor, but I like having all these 2-drops in this deck. Okay. Well, borderline mono green, but we have to run a bunch of double... Unfortunately, we have to run more black mana than I'd like, solely because we've got all these double black spells. Like, our double black splash is actually a little bit intensive, so I think we have to run probably... I mean, the nice thing is we're not green intensive at all. We have 1 double green spell, so I think I'm actually just going to go 9/8 green to black just to really make sure I can hit Liliana on turn 3 if need be. And I've got double Leaf Gilder anyway, so I really just need 1 green and I can do everything I want. So the question is, do I run Recluse or Orchard Spirit? I guess I felt originally like I was going to need the Recluse more, but now I'm a little bit less convinced. I think Orchard Spirit pushes damage a little bit better. I think I'll actually cut the Recluse. I'd rather have the 2/2 evasive guy. It can be really nice. All right, this deck looks pretty excellent. Like I said, we're going to do a 9/8 split. Interested to see how Evolutionary Leap plays with Liliana. And as the commenter suggested, Double Visionary does work pretty well with Evolutionary Leap too. So we'll try that out. This seems interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with this deck. Pretty removal light, admittedly. Might of the Masses combat trick, double Unholy Hunger, and potentially a Naturalist can take out an artifact creature. But beyond that, not much in the removal department. But we do have some pretty excellent creatures, so yeah, I don't think we need to run 18 lands, especially not with double Leaf Gilder. Yeah, I like this deck. This is a pretty sweet looking deck, actually. We've even got some card advantage. We're going to go 9/8. Like I said, if I didn't have so many double black spells, I wouldn't run so many swamps, but I really just want to make sure I can hit that double black when I need it, and I'm just not green intensive at all, so okay. I guess we're running it like this. Pretty cool looking deck. We'll see you round 1.